Hello everyone, this is Matt here. Today we're joined by Zen, and this is the first episode of the To Be a Master podcast. I am very happy that this is finally happening. This has been in the works for a long time, and hopefully this is something that we will continue to do in the future, if Zen is willing to put up with me. So here we have three to four topics on the little layout here that was put together. So the first topic we're gonna go over is the new egg feature, and really how it's going to evolve come July. So Zen, what do you have to say about the egg feature?
Well, first of all, eggs are good. I like the concept. I like what they're doing with it. Ones we have now are really bad. Not really any real way around that. Ones we have now are not very good, which is fine. Not every free thing has to be top tier or anything. Um, Customization aspect of it, I don't know how I feel about them in terms of acquiring them in the future because this was just log in, get whatever you want, and just pick it. And obviously, it's not going to always be that. And Pokemon Masters has a history of making their events either really good or really bad. So they could end up showing up in really awful to grind content. But all in all, I think it was a good addition. I like the teasers we got, like Scyther. Like that's going to be a really cool one, getting Caesar or something for your character.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm just on the fence on how we're going to acquire eggs in the future. That's the main thing that sticks out to me.
I do have to agree with that, but however, the egg's not being exactly top tier. That does make it good in the sense that it really doesn't matter who you pick. There's no wrong answer. It's just whoever the fuck you want. Like some people went with Charizard because they love Charizard. Some people went with Bulbasaur. And I know me and you, we went with Squirtle. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like hey, it's all for fun.
And I think that Masters does a good job in general of use what you like to use. I think Ho-Oh is the first time people are actually seeing, oh, we have to use units that are good for the specific event. Otherwise, we're going to lose. Because
Exactly.
Masters went away from that for a long time because everything used to be that. You can tell who started recently and who didn't based on how much trouble they have with Ho-Oh. There's so many people that message me and they're like, I can't do this. This is impossible. And I'm like, okay, what are you using? And they're like, oh, my red and whatever else, my squirrel egg. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that's probably why, because they don't remember back when every single event required the specific hard counter Pokemon to beat it.
Yeah,
Um,
same thing for me. Like I actually got well, granted, I bet I didn't get as many people as you, but yeah, people were asking me like, "Hey, can you help me? I can't beat Ultra Hard." And yeah, like it is nice actually getting asked for help for once, but yeah, I find it really funny.
and we'll talk about it more when we get to the Ho-Oh part, but like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that it's nice that eggs feel like not a min-maxing Pokemon that you can slap on your sort of customizable character, which is basically the same guy but with a different hair color, but still, do you just want cool Pokemon that you like? Like not everything has to be min-maxing. Sometimes it can just be fun. And that feels like what eggs are, and I like that.
yeah. Ditto. And but and us talking about mons like Scyther and whoever else they decide to add to eggs, though that feature will be coming out in July, which I expect Sega Suit Blue, the Legendary Arena, I expect that to be like your quote 2.0 update of where all that stuff comes out. Um do you believe that that the other two starters will be acquirable through that as well? Because my opinion, I think that they should do that. For example, like since me and you pick score, would we be able to get Charmander and Bulbasaur from that grind or whatever?
I don't know. I kind of like right now that you can only get the one that you want. Well, the initial one that you picked. I'm sure eventually they will implement some way that you can get them. I don't know if it will necessarily be through that, because honestly, that would feel like kind of a lackluster prize. But
I just know
maybe.
the completionist in me is dying. It hurts a little bit, just a little bit.
I'm sure a lot of people feel that way too. That
Yeah.
they want all three of them and they can't get them. But something that doesn't feel like a very min-maxy thing for me. I'm okay with just getting the one that I picked. But I'm sure they'll put it in eventually, and I'm sure that when they release eggs in the future, you'll be able to get more than just the one.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I just want to throw it in there. Okay, so I think that's everything about eggs. Oh yeah, Affinity. How do you feel that they did with Affinity being your potential ticket kind of system?
I like that it's something that isn't potential tickets because those are really valuable and like not easy to get a lot of. And I mean, you can put potential tickets into them still, but it's nice to give them something a little extra because they don't have like grids or anything to work with. So I kind of wish they did have grids to work with because I feel like they need them.
Hey, I just hope it's something that they do in the future because people like Pikachu and Solgaleo, they have grids in there with the MC. So I just hope that at least when you work them up to a certain point, they'll maybe if they introduce a new level cap, it'll be okay. People you raise from an egg, you can now have a sync grid, for example.
Hope so. I'm concerned by the wording of it that says Pokemon hatched from eggs do not have sync grids. That's concerning to me. But
Yeah, ditto. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's everything on eggs. So how about we move on to what they added to the Battle Via, and that being the co-op stage being now a daily stage and floor 30.
so the co-op daily is like that was. I don't really care that much about floor 30 because like Battle Villa is one of those things that seems like hard on its face, and then you realize that if you just play every day, you'll finish with a lot of ample time left over. But the daily co-op reward, especially with it being one of the co-ops that you can just build your own triple team with, and you don't have to sit in the co-op queue, I like that a lot because we really needed more ways to get cookies.
Yes.
Desperately bad.
Oh, speaking of cookies, I saw I got Surging Sand 3.
Did
Come on! Give me some slack here. Lucky Skills treat me like absolute garbage. I got Dauntless on Mew.
Yeah, I've been trying to get Vigilance on Mew for like 3 villas and I have not gotten it yet. But I've gotten even got Power Flux 3 on Squirtle.
Wow.
Feels pointless, but I'm using it anyway.
Nice. Oh yeah, and chat just reminded me to put the check mark next to eggs because I'm using Masters assets for the topics. I like that a lot.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So, Lucky Skills. Those of you who are watching live, you guys have seen me do Lucky Skills. I just want to stab myself. They hurt so much to me. The best thing I've got on Subtile is Steady Resolve 9. Red has Critical Strike 1. Cynthia has Power Flux 1. Like, that's really the best I've gotten from any of them. Dauntless on Mew.
Yeah, I was
oh my god.
talking to Gorish about this, and I actually hate the Lucky Skill system. It's so bad because you could like it's unlikely, but theoretically you could do it forever and not get the skill you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Eventually, the percentage of that is astronomically low, but theoretically, there's no way to like definitely eventually get the thing that you want. So you could do the Villa from now until this game ends and still have Dauntless on your Mew.
Yes. Yes, and
like they don't and it's tough to get cookies. Like they're super gated. They're crazy gated resource. So
yeah,
one gated, two like RNG, pure RNG with a lot of options. Like even gold cookies have like 9 different options. It's just I don't like it.
I mean, like, I like about it's a way to buff units even more, but I just don't like the real chance of it. And those of you who play another game that we play called called Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, their artifact system works in a very similar way. And that
Artifacts are infinitely more available than cookies are.
exactly, but you need to get 3 of them at least. And
Yeah, they
I feel like
vomit
that's
those
the
at you.
drawback there. I feel like that's the drawback there, but yes. But yeah, like I just hope that they add them as a login bonus soon.
Chat says, is a lucky skill like an ability? Kind of. It's just another passive slot.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my sand as an example here. So Cynthia is someone who obviously operates very well in sand. You would want Surging Sand on her. And in my Discord, exclamation mark, Discord for those of you who are watching live, I have pinned a list of lucky skills per cookie. So you're not wasting every single cookie per skill. But yeah, lucky skills are just a way to improve units even more. So instead of Cynthia doing 80% extra damage in sand, it becomes 110 if you get Surging Sand 3. Which, that is sand. Yes, sand.
30% flat buff is a lot, by the way.
Oh,
a lot
for
one passive skill.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That is why I'm so excited about it. Oh my god, I want it so bad, but I'm never gonna get it.
Surprised Cynthia got her grid before Lance.
I was joking about it for the longest time. I knew it got annoying, so I just kept pressing about it, and here we are.
They were finally tired of getting tweeted at, so they're like, all right, just give her.
I know, but yeah, I did figure that they would have reruns for this month and probably next month too. I would not be surprised if Lance got his next month, because it's a little bit of a drier period. They're starting to rerun things, so I think that would be less work on their end. But that's just me.
So not just pure poor Lance, but Steven, who was the first one to drop with a grid. His grid sucks. Everyone else is just, they drop Steven, and this thing is terrible.
Yeah. Poor guy.
They were gonna start making sync grids good, and Steven is just sitting there like, oh, curse of being the first person to get any new mechanic in a gacha is that you're always bad.
Yeah, very true. And Steven fell victim to, what was it called? Quick skills and sync grid.
Mm-hmm.
Does he hit hard? Yeah, he can, but he needs time.
I don't even think I don't know. Steven, I think he's good. I still think he's like top tier, but
yeah.
I think every other fair I'm excited to use. Like upping Lance in a single player event and just watching him melt people with Hyper Beam is awesome. And Cynthia is good, and Red is good, and Steven is just kind of like, yeah, I mean you're good, but I'm not very excited to play with you.
Yeah. But honestly, and actually a fair point pulled out from the chat. Steven was kind of like bait for Red. He was like, ooh, flashy new mechanics. Ooh, flashy new mode. Blastbone go brrr.
Yeah, he was way too close to Red, but even then, like, he gave Red a really good grid, and they didn't give Steven a good grid at all.
Oh my god. Red, you can
Red's
shape
grid
him.
is ridiculous.
You've seen me hit for 50k with him, and there's no way to reduce special defense efficiently, so he could hit the cap easily. Just raw damage, 50k. That shit's nuts.
And you can tech him for, like, anything.
Yeah.
You can swap his grid for literally any kind of content, and he'll be the best at it.
Steven
is like, I have Haymaker, I guess. That's a thing that I have.
I can Ura, but that's it.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's exactly as I said in Discord. Red is as good as, well, one of the reasons why Red is as good as he is because you can build him for any form of content and he will be top. Period. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Honestly.
There's nothing that he can't do well, including Villa. He's one of the best people in that too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I've seen people do at least pre 30. I went to sleep when the V reset, woke up, saw people saying that they were done with only 6 mons, and the only striker being Red.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. People did full 25-4s. And I think that transitions perfectly into us discussing 430. Do I think 30 is not gonna stop these people because people we're doing it with 6.
I mean, even if it does, like, oh, okay, now it took them 2 days to
Yeah,
clear your entire event instead of 1 day. You did it, Nintendo. Saved it. Like,
very true. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what they
exactly.
wanted out of to begin with, to be honest, because 430 definitely just feels like, oh yeah, you're gonna beat our whole thing in 1 day. Well, how about this? And then it doesn't make a difference.
Okay, 2 days.
Like,
I'm not gonna complain with 600 more gems to add to getting more gems. Like I think it was 600. Yeah, 600. So yeah, total went up from I think it was 1,500 to 1,000. Not 1,000. Oh my god, I can't math.
100, I think now.
Yeah, 2,100 per via reset. And which I read something that said that I read something that said in April, if you did everything, you got 20,000 gems, and that just went up by another 1,200 as of May.
I mean, you got to think about that's a month of saving. That's like 60% of a pity
Yeah,
on
exactly,
whatever unit that you're saving.
exactly. So 2 months, and it's only a little less now.
And thank God they dropped these candies. I'm all about these sync level up candies. You only need one thing. You got to pull them once. No more of this desperate up in 100,000 gems to try to get red max or anything all these people are doing.
Yep,
One,
yep,
get some candies in
exactly.
them. All set.
But yeah, I was actually telling some people about that. If you don't have red, save 2 candies and save whatever potential tickets you get. Red will be your first investment. He will carry you through absolutely everything in this game whenever he comes back.
I think they might not bring him back until the anniversary.
That
I literally think they might hold him that
that
long.
is my expectation as well. I expect him to be released probably with blue or green. Whoever doesn't come out with the legendary arena, like that is what I'm expecting.
I there's no way they're just gonna drop him, like, because Cynthia is just kind of coming back. Like, there's no reason for her to be back. She's just coming back. There's no way they're not gonna to drop Red again without it being some sort of event.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, Anything else you want to add to the VIA? Because I think that's all I could really think of at the moment.
No, I don't think so. Just make sure that you're playing the co-op stages every day, because God knows you need the cookies.
Oh, wait. Actually, I wanted to say 2 more things off that. So when it comes to doing the daily, I just learned this recently, but you can actually get gold cookies from that. I didn't know that they could drop until just today, which is
I
really
don't think
nice.
you're gonna get very many of them, but you definitely can.
Oh no, you're not.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen, but
You are not. And and some people ask me, man, I can't do the VIA. How would one do the VIA? Like anyone could beat the VIA. You have 2 weeks. It's just a matter of being consistent with it. Like
I mean, even if when you get to floor 20 and you're beating like floors a day, and make sure that you're not being days or missing days, and you're fine.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I always say that to instill a little confidence in people. Like, hey, don't worry, no sweat. You got this. Just play tomorrow, play the next day, sell your soul.
Well, because a lot of people, like, when they talk to me about it, they'll say, I have to spend an entire day on like boss floor, but like a lot of people have to do that. And the next day you clear 90% of the stuff up to the boss. Maybe you lose on like the mini boss floor or whatever. But you're clearing it faster than you think you are. It just feels like you're not clearing it that fast.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I would give everyone what, a week, maybe a week and a half if you're starting brand new and you have to work everything up. Like,
I mean, you could easily do it in a week and a half, even if you. Only way you can't do it in a week and a half is if you don't have enough materials to like level up your Pokemon.
yeah,
It's really
exactly.
not like that much, but these days when it comes to, because back in the day, leveling up a Pokemon to 100 was like a multi-week nightmare. More now, you just kind of jump in and get it done.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of sticking with it, and especially with the amount of grinding on some content going down, you can now focus on things like that more throughout the day.
Which is good.
Yeah, exactly. I like that a lot. And I think that's everything we have to discuss about the VIA. Where's my Bulbasaur asset checklist? I love this shit way too much. Yeah, that's done. Okay. Now, this is the important one. Suns. So, Ho-Oh and the future of weather teams. This is going to be a good conversation. Whether it's sand. I'll get to that, I promise. So Ho-Oh. Oh boy. Uh you need a copy? Hey, I'll send to you later. So when I first saw Ho-Oh, I was load him up. Alright. My bad. So when I first saw Ho-Oh, I was live. I know Sly was here. I was freaking out because I looked at his kit. I didn't look at his stats. I looked at his kit because the stats weren't out yet, and I was like, "Holy shit, Ho is going to be amazing." But then when I saw his stats, I just thought, "Oh boy."
Yeah, I mean, no real way to sugarcoat it. He's not good. His stats are too bad. They're atrocious.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any way to increase them with potential. Like even if you use potential tickets on him, his stats are still terrible. I think his maxed out potential special attack is what, like 265 or something.
That sounds right.
God.
Oh wait. So what's his physical attack again? Because that's what his sink and fire are.
I know his physical attack is higher than his special. I think not by a lot though. Maybe the physical is 265 and the special is 245 or something like that. Neither one is 300. I know that.
Unfortunately,
it's just they don't really get it. I mean, they hyped him up in their anniversary trailer as being like, oh, Ho-Oh's coming, and they had Silver catch the feather, and he's just awful. He's awful.
I mean, I feel like okay. I need to actually use him. I don't have him yet, but I feel like his Charged Sun 6 is meant to make up for that, so he does regular damage, because that is 60% in the sun. Like sun get
already hard to.
I have hope.
Once with him, to
I
get
have
sun,
hope.
or you're stuck playing Rapidash. It's just.
I have some hope, but
man, I'll give it to you.
It's losing. It's on the losing side of the fight.
The appeal of Ho-Oh is that you now have endless sun for Red to just be even more horrifying.
Yes, and suns, but yeah, I think a lot of people are underestimating Charged Sun 6 because Sun gives 50% boost as is, and that's how Red hits 10k blast burns without any real difficulty. But to then charge Sun 6, that's another 60 on top of that. So that's 110 in the Sun. Like, I have hope.
He just needed a sync grid. I think that if he had a grid, different.
I agree. But man, they really dropped the ball. So,
well, because so many people are hyped, like, because Ho-Oh is, like, no offense to people that love Sun and Moon, I don't know too many people who were freaking out over Solgaleo. You know what I mean? But people were really going off when Ho-Oh got revealed, and it turns out, he's really bad.
As well as
you do that?
As Ray, yeah. Like I remember where I was when Solgaleo was announced, because Cynthia was announced that same day. It was Cynthia that came with him that everyone freaked out about.
Right, and then Cynthia destroyed his event, and everyone was super hyped that Cynthia existed. Like,
but then everyone complained that
just whatever.
But then everyone complained that the Ray grind was too much because it was used either Lycanroc. Oh, because you didn't have that AoE smack.
You couldn't kill the entire enemy field in like attacks with all of the Cynthias.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's what Ho himself. Now let's go into his event. Oh boy. You're not gonna find much positivity in this.
So I like. Okay, I'll start talking about what I like because the list is not that long.
Good,
So it'll be
good,
pretty
good,
quick to
good.
get through.
Let's.
Um, yeah, I like that it's harder because Masters has been kind of just up red, spam, even win. So I like that ultra hard is not that. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen a lot of people complain about how hard it is, but I haven't seen anybody using stuff like Misty. I think is really really good in this. Um,
Yeah.
I like that you
If
can
you
be
use it.
creative and you can use Pokemon that people aren't using. That you actually have to try. You can't just drop your red and fast burn Ho-Oh into oblivion. Well, that's what I do, but at least I have to use other Pokemon too before I do that.
I have to use Ho-Oh and my brain. Sorry, Ho-Oh. Ugh. I
Yeah,
have to use
I
red
get
and
to
my brain.
I get to spam Blast Burn after I properly set everything up first. So I like that. That's probably it.
I mean, I had a lot of hope for this system. All because when I saw that there was a loot box system being announced, I thought it would be like Dragalia's loot box system. Called Blazon summons. But I said this in the pre-show. Follow me on Twitch if you guys wanna see the pre and post shows. But but it looks like that Masters literally took a beta version of that loot box system and said, "Okay, let's run with it."
Yeah, it's the problem is that a lot of like Masters loves to give you potions and drinks and stuff, and like, but like no, they're not very valuable items, or like skill capsules. Like, oh, there's skill capsules in here. This is the last time anybody knew that they got a skill capsule ever, used it for anything. Like, okay, the gold drinks, the platinum drinks, the Elite Four, and the gym leader notes. I'll take that. Do we really need all of these bronze drinks and the big pearls that we have 550,000 of? And exactly, chat. What is a skill capsule? I'm not even going to tell you because you don't need to know.
Yeah.
And like the training machines, like, we have thousands of these things. Rolling on this, it should feel like, oh, I'm getting really good stuff. This is cool. I'm glad I'm doing this. And instead, you're just pulling like in Dragalia when you have the Blazon summons. If you don't get the dragon, the summon's usually still good because you need those things. You need like the crafting mats and the coins and all this stuff because like not just there for the dragon, you're there for making your weapons and building your stuff and all this other stuff. Pokemon, it's not really like that. But all it is a bunch of level up material that we don't need. At least most people, like if you're brand new, you probably need a lot of this stuff. But like even if all you did was play like the last legendary event, you probably don't need most of this stuff. So you're pretty much just here waiting until you get the next map.
Yeah. And that is another thing. I'm really not the biggest fan of having the story chapters really locked behind there. Like, getting Ho-Oh, sure, but I mean, here's the system that I proposed to stream earlier today. I said that either by completing story or the first box, whatever you want to do, you get Ho-Oh, sure. But to then for that completion reward, have the next have the first 4 boxes be Ho-Oh dupes, but then per box up to 10 you get 2 potential tickets. Because it seems like that they didn't want to put the potential tickets in there for some reason.
Well, just make it exactly like Dragalia's. If you're gonna take the system, just
Yeah,
make
exactly.
it as good as the system you're copying.
Exactly.
Why would you not?
Yeah, that was my thing. I was like, why'd you take a beta of it?
It's like
if you want to copy it,
you're like, wow, this looks really good. Let's this, but also let's use a bad version of it.
Yeah. Yeah, but that is my proposal to fix it if anyone is watching this for some reason. Just But yeah.
I mean, it's just like the idea was in the right place. And also, I get that some people don't like that it doesn't have co-op. I am kind of okay with it because like we need single player stuff to do really bad. That's not the battle log in, do the battle villa for like an hour and then log out. But like you got to do it better than this. You really got to do it better than this.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with the difficulty as well because I actually had to use Blissey as a special tank.
Yeah, like you can use Blissey for it. I use Army and Mew.
Yeah,
Like
I did
you
try Mew a
actually
little
have
bit.
to build a team. You can't like, oh, I'm just gonna throw out, same exact thing that I used before and just win. You actually have to try, which is good, and I like it. And I'm glad they're going that way again. But I do wish that they just kind of. People
Yeah,
are saying, oh, it's to mitigate the grind, but like I don't see how this feels like a mitigated grind because now you're playing the same stage 145 times, just rolling on this crappy gotcha, hoping that you get the only thing out of it that you want.
yeah. I mean, it. Okay, so if they decide to remove co-op and still do the exchange shop, I think it would have been a good transition for it.
Yeah, that would have been fine. Like the even like either keep the exchange shop or you make the Blazon whatever. What I don't know what they're called in this game. They just look like little
I mean,
ships or something.
it literally says gift box. It literally says gift box. So.
They're whatever. Yeah, functionally they're identical to what the Blazon summon is. Just do that, but just do it good.
Yeah,
Just do the thing correctly the first time, without needing to be told.
yeah. Oh yeah, and back to the whole removing co-op thing. As of for my opinion on that, I didn't care either way because I was already solo doing this stuff. Like I was already doing Solgaleo with Torkoal, Garchomp, and Starmie. And I had Torkoal as my main, so I would get the sync every time, so I could farm co-op orbs. That is how I was doing at the Solgaleo event over and over and over, getting some Elite Four notes. Well, like I was doing this stuff solo, so really I shouldn't be talking about co-op versus single player stuff because it's like, I'll do it solo. Because even before the system was added, I was still taking AI friends and saying, okay, how can I make this work? And I was making it work. I just did
Right.
not like deal with other co-op people.
Right. Yeah, it's just I hate co-op. Like, well, because I guess I don't hate it because they made it basically autoable. Because back when people had to actually try and nobody did, it was pretty miserable. But
Yeah.
like, just don't see how this is a better alternative. Because at least on co-op, you're just autoing with like randoms, and you can get co-op sync orbs or whatever. Now that they changed the way that you get sync orbs, you only get like the 400 a day or whatever. You're just sitting here grinding this one stage that's too difficult to auto, but not like super engaging. Because once you figure out how to build your team to beat it, you just do this every single time. Don't I don't know what the plan was. I don't know what they were thinking. There was like this was the great solution. I don't see it.
Yeah. However, chat, I see you guys talk about the sync orb update. We're not going to get into that today. That is another day. That is gonna be a whole thing. That's gonna be a whole thing. You guys will get your sync orb talk later. So I think we've kicked Ho-Oh enough. So the future of weathers. So as we know, Ho-Oh is gonna introduce a massive sun buff. Are you gonna know the 7 tweets about it? Oh fuck yeah, you are. Ho-Oh is buffing Sun beyond hell. Red just became even better because he now has no time limit. He now has additional move gauge charge. So by the time your blast burn animation is going, you already have max. So your power flux is just there. So power flux is now officially the best passive for Red because of that. Sand, I'll talk about that later. Rain. Believe it or not, Rain is actually starting to get a buff because of Wallace. and
I can see it.
I don't think a lot of people really see it the way I do. All because so what's balance? I know, right? So if you guys saw my stream, it was the day before yesterday. I was fucking around with all the brand new grids, and that's where I discovered, oh my god, sand. But I started messing around with Wallace, and I learned that when it comes to at least this event or just 5 in general, you can destroy it with Pelipper and Milotic, but then have Torchic as your friend, as your third partner. So you can get 4 special attack, 2 crit, but then one of Wallace's synchro passives is when in rain, Brian gets an additional crit rate. So you're guaranteed Brian crits when you're in the rain.
Oh, that is interesting. Did not know that.
But to then in the rain, you're getting the 50% buff as is. So your water moves are doing more damage. So rain is starting to get a buff. I'm curious where they take it from here, but right now Milotic is the best water unit because of this. And the way I describe Milotic is a slower and maybe a little less damaging version of Torkoal. Because there's not as much Brian or Whirlpool power-ups. There's no... there is no Pass It On or anything like that. It's like a lesser Torkoal. But it's a start for Rain.
They needed something. I think a lot of the reason that people don't talk about weather is that weather starters are extremely limited, and most of the ones that exist are terrible.
Yeah.
So you're basically using like these really bad Pokemon that only exist to vomit out their weather effect 2 times and then just go away. Which is fair. Like, that's accurate. But
yeah,
they're also good. Like, I think that's not as big of an impact as people are making it out to be when they talk about weather teams, because that's kind of what you're doing when you're playing single player anyway. Is you just have 2 support Pokemon there so that your one Pokemon can just fucking obliterate everything and not having to care about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can run Pichu and Mew or whatever, but like still just running them so that Red can live as long as possible to continue being Red on things until you win. So if you do something that lets you do that another way, just do that instead. Why not?
Yeah, but however, when it comes to people who max themselves out, like Red, for example, I think having the Sun is definitely very beneficial because the Sun does give that extra damage bonus on fire type moves, which is all that he has. So I feel like that whether in situations like Red, I feel that's kind of what people should be doing because it's more damage. However, Cynthia, Palisand needed the buff he got. Sandstorm can round out Cynthia perfectly to where she can get +6 attack and +3 crit.
Yeah, Palisand needed.
I'm very happy Palisand got the buff it got. And oh my god, Jasmine. I was tinkering with her a lot. You can make Cynthia pump out even more damage than she already can. It's actually ridiculous. Defense breaks for the win. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm glad Cynthia's getting more attention because she kind of fell off. Like, she came out and she dominated Solgaleo. And then by the time Red came out, everyone was like, "Oh, I'm never touching Cynthia ever again because her thing she can do."
Cynthia lovers like me are fighting here. I was still using
for your lives out here to
justifying
Cynthia over Red.
I was still using her for the super courses. To this day, I was trying my best, man.
I mean, I have a team built where I use blue because I like blue, but still use red when it matters.
Exactly. So once again, it's just use whoever you want. But if you have to use something, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta pull the trigger on Red. But like, Cynthia's actually gonna start getting some ridiculous output that I think is good.
Yeah, I mean,
based on her grid alone, like, is she the second best character after Red? Maybe.
I would have to test it, but I would definitely argue it. Yes.
I mean, just based on looking at what she's getting, like, I think you can have the conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't use any of it yet, so you don't know. But like, grid and like her teams feel the most complete now after his.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
Sand will definitely have have the second strongest team, but it's much more restricted than Sun is because you don't need to run Rapidash for Sun. You don't need to run Ho-Oh. So you can interchange some spots, but Sand, I feel like you need to use these core three, and you have a broken Sand team.
Right.
So yeah, Sand is strong, but specific. Sun is very flexible, but once again, you do need Fairs. I hope that Blastoise buffs Rain. Hail, I want a low in Ninetales. Hail. Someone in the chat knows my history with Hail. You hate me for it, and I love me for it. Zen, I've not told you this story, but yeah, me and Hail go a long, long way back. I really want to run Hail in this game.
Yeah, it was weird in this game because like I don't even know that many people that get buffs from it.
At the moment, the only one is Price in some way.
Oh God.
I even forgot what he gets from Hail. I just know he at least has Snow Shelter. That's it. I forget what else he gets.
I also that's one thing I don't like about in this game is that you have to have an ability to ignore weather damage, even if you're the right type. That you should be able to ignore it.
I was very annoyed at that. When I saw Price take damage from enemy Hail, I said, "Excuse me? Did you just tell me what to do?"
Yeah, it makes it feel less like it's not enough damage to really matter, but it just makes it feel less appealing because you're like, yeah, I could run Hail, or even like Cynthia's gonna take Sandstorm damage unless you have the passes and everything. So it's like,
I'm forever annoyed by that.
Not a big negative, but it exists. Meanwhile, Red is just like chilling on the beach.
I know, right? Yeah.
No detriment whatsoever.
Yeah, but I really do feel like that this game is heading in the direction, at least with this recent batch of units, is heading in the direction of weather teams becoming a lot more meta. And I have experience
super
with
hard right now.
Yeah, but I have experience with these weather teams.
Existence.
But I have experience with these weather teams all because some of you guys know I play in the competitive circuit, or at least played, and that is more or less for the most part of what we ran. It was terrains, rain. No, not rain, but weather and fucking primals. So yeah, I have my history when it comes to building weather. When I saw these updates, I said, "Oh boy, weather's coming, boys."
Weather, I think, is still definitely like underutilized in this game.
It's like on the cusp, but it's definitely something that is starting to come.
Yeah, it's because it is good. I think a lot of people just don't think it's good, and it is good. It's just, I don't know, maybe they just don't like Pelipper or Rapidash or something. I don't know.
Yeah, fucking Pelipper. I wish you went to Politoed or someone like that.
Yeah, anyone better than Pelipper.
Yeah, Pelipper. Hate that fucking bird. Anyway, any other comments on weather? Because I think that's all I could really think of.
Not really. I like that they're making more theme teams a thing. As much as I like freedom, like to do whatever you want, at some point you get, I don't know if too much freedom is the right word, but like, why would you ever explore team building or do anything if you can just run Red, Pikachu, Mew, and steamroll everything in the whole game? So I'm glad they're trying to make some sort of positive come out of team building again.
Yes, and I absolutely love team building. That's why I love the way synchros are, because some people complain that, oh, you can't max out the whole grid. I'm not a big fan of it. No, I actually like it, all because I like exploring customization options. I love team building. Like, I love sitting here at my desk for 3 hours saying, okay, how can I take you apart molecule by molecule and reassemble you into a demon?
I definitely think being able to max out the whole grid would be a mistake.
It was some of the shit they put on there, yeah. Because imagine Cynthia, because the way how I built my grid, I don't have any of the sync power-ups or ramming speed because that doesn't get the Sandstorm buff. Imagine if Cynthia had access to all of that, or Red had access to Haymaker and all of the sun passives, all of the refreshes. status quo. Like, no.
That
I'm sorry,
that's
but
not the
no.
way.
I'm sorry,
It's
but no.
like you said, it's fun to be able to mix and match, do different things. Like there's grid builds that make someone good here, and grid builds that make them good in co-op, and then some that make them good in single player or Villa and stuff. I don't know, and it's not like it's costly to redo it.
Exactly.
It's like
It
a
just costs some
tiny
gold,
amount of gold that you don't use on anything.
which I have 7 mil gold, for example. So gold is that hard to acquire. So yeah.
Gold is valueless at this point.
Oh yeah. I just use it for pure flex reasons. So I think that is it with weather. Now I'm gonna put my meme back on the screen. Suns. So do we have any viewer or stream questions on that note? Because this is where we're at the moment. How about SS Kahuna's introducing Tapus and their terrains?
Sure, terrain will come at some point.
I was actually talking to my little brother about this a little earlier today, but imagine Tapu Koko coming in with fucking, and he has thunder, and imagine if Pelipper with rain, Tapu Koko has some kind of electric terrain boosting passive similar to like Charged Sun. Like imagine something like that, thunder and rain combined, the both of them.
Yeah, I mean, I hope if when they, because eventually they're gonna have to bring terrain, like they're gonna have to, but I hope they don't make it overlap with weather. That would suck. Like had brought out a terrain, it took away the weather effect to put the terrain effect down.
Oh, I would
Let them
not.
mix and
I would
match.
not like that. I want them.
Let them mix and match.
I want them both at the same time. I want to have some fun with this. Let it with Mewtwo. Yes. That is another dangerous combination. Legendaries with grids in the future. That could be dangerous. What do you guys want to see? We get seasonal variants.
Is this just your way of trying to bait us into saying bikini on stream? Is that what you're looking for?
You say it, not me. I was going to say it. I 100% was going to say it.
Do you think seasonal variants are cool in any game? And I think it's weird that we got Christmas ones and then that's it. We could have easily had more by now.
That
or
is.
if you don't want to do like holiday ones, like I guess it's not late enough in the year to know if we're gonna get like summer versions or whatever. But it just feels weird that we only had Christmas.
That is true. I actually forgot that the Christmas ones were in the game. Yeah.
Because one of them is terrible and one of them is annoying. So
yeah. Actually, I don't
at the
really
very
use those
least,
anymore.
I hope we get Halloween. Want some Halloween units with some ghost Pokemon.
Ooh, Pumpkaboo would be a good one for that. Pumpkaboo, maybe Seviper. Like, I feel like those would be good ones. Yeah.
So
yeah,
at some
that's
point,
actually a great
we need
idea.
Gigantamax Pokemon. I want it. It happened. Want it.
True.
Want Leon already, for God's sake.
How about fucking Mustard? Which Cynthia with her spirit? That's a good one. Which Cynthia?
That would be good too.
I would love that.
I feel like everyone's similar recommendation is just going to be some version of Cynthia.
I wouldn't oppose to it, but
Bikini Cynthia in the summer, Witch Cynthia for Halloween, Elf Cynthia for Christmas with some ice with Togekiss, whatever. Why not? It's the happy Pokemon.
more Cynthia's
Yeah,
bad thing. Fat agree. Summer Red, for that I feel like that they could do Red's outfit that he went to Alola in. I feel like that would be a good one.
Just keep him the same age, for God's sake. Don't age jump him.
Please no.
Adult Red.
I hate how he looks in the age jump. It just hurts looking at him.
Already weirded out in Masters that Blue and Red look like they're late teens, and Leaf looks like she's 11.
Very true. Very, very true.
Blue looks like he could be anywhere from 16 to like 20.
Oh,
Red
Sly,
looks
I'll
like
look
he's
at that right
maybe
now.
18.
Sly, I'll look at that right now. So Sly sent me a little graphic about his idea on revamping the Ho-Oh event. So, okay. Okay. So his idea is similar to mine, but it's a little more specific. Okay. So he says that from story, you get the first copy of Ho-Oh. Pool 1, you get your second copy of Ho-Oh, and also more mats. And also you get mats for level 60 on cap, and you get the materials to get the first move. Pool 2, you get your third copy, mats for level 75, and your second move. Pool 3, fourth copy of Ho-Oh, mats for level 90, and your passives. Pool 4, mats for 105 and potential tickets. Pool 5 is mats for 120 and other rare or miscellaneous items, which I think they could add sync orbs in there. I would be fine with that. If you inflate the pool a little bit with some other things, I'd be cool with that.
I think it's so funny with the Ho-Oh event how many different like fix for it, because like it just shows how bad the event is. That there's 150 different versions of ways to fix it, and they're all better than what we got.
Very true. Unfortunately, very true.
Sad times. Sad times.
I'm gonna hide that again. There we are.
It's still Ho-Oh, like it's cool.
Oh yeah, it's very cool.
Because I like abusing red. I'm gonna use it because it's in Endless Sun, but
you know what?
No.
On a more positive note, it is a W because it got more people to play the game and shed some more eyes on it. Because some people Ho-Oh's their favorite.
People do love them some Ho-Oh.
Exactly. I like abusing red. I mean, who doesn't? Is
there anybody that doesn't have red? Can't name a single person who plays this game that has red and doesn't run them in 99% of the stuff that they do.
Exactly.
Like, why would you?
Exactly. All right, so is there a way of playing on PC? No. Emulators do not work with masters, unfortunately.
Nintendo kind of hates emulators for a lot of their games. I know it goes down for Fire Emblem Heroes like every other week, and then people find a way to do it, and then it goes down again, and it's just the endless saga.
Yes, and also Dragalia Lost, that has never been available on emulator, I believe. I'm very sure. Maybe within the first few days, I think. I remember people playing it with a controller. But other than that, I've not heard of any emulator talk since then.
Yeah, my controller sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like a much better way to play Dragalia.
Yeah, some people said it feels very natural, if anything. Also, stream things really quick. Thank you guys for the follows. I see them. I've not commented on them. Piku and Xerxes, thank you very much for the follows. If you guys are still here, thank you very much. Could you imagine Steam version of Masters like Duel Links, where you can move progress to each version, where any progress on mobile goes to PC and vice versa? Steam, I don't know. But I feel like that they can. I feel that they could do that because I know Grand Cross does that, of where you can have the same account on multiple devices if it's just linked by the same. Well, yeah, if it's linked by the same thing, such as Google Play, for example, Gmail, as long as it's linked to that, you can. You can play the same account on multiple devices. Because I know my brother right now is rerolling.
Games do that.
Really? Didn't know that.
Brave Exvius does that. I don't know if War of the Visions does. I think it does.
I did not know that. I just knew that Dissidia didn't, so I didn't mention it. But yeah. I hope that they do something like that in the future. All because I feel like some people say, oh, well, I doubt emulators, but some people say, oh, I only play on my tablet, for example, and I watch you on my phone. If there's a way to swap between them, you could watch me on a bigger screen, for example, while playing on your phone on the side.
Right.
Like, yeah, I just feel like it would
more convenience
benefit.
is never a bad thing.
Precisely. What do you think about the game having some sort of dupe protection? I love it. I think these candies are one of the best additions added. All because that means I don't have to go in for Cynthia if I don't want to. Like, I could save everything for fucking Steelix. Do as I say, not as I do.
Maybe nobody else do that. Maybe nobody else do that. For
do
Steelix.
as we say, not as I do. Don't go for Steelix. I'm just an idiot.
Oh god, don't pull for Steelix. Nobody but this guy.
Let me have my fun at the top of Sand. No one else do it. You guys have fun with Sun. Let me do my own thing over here. In my own lair.
It'd be quite the Twitter arc when you drop a pity's worth of gems on Jasmine and then Blue drops a week after that.
Oh god, that'd be... No. Why do I feel like you just summoned a curse on me? Oh my god.
That's how it always happens.
So Focus was like, god damn it. Kaka, you should reroll for Cynthia when she comes out. That's what you should do.
There's not even any point in getting Steelix if you don't have Cynthia.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Stout. Question for Zen. Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna let you read that.
Which one? Left one.
Kobe, that is the right idea. Wally is not a fair, but Cynthia is worth going for.
Is it always left? I don't know. It just seems like that's the. I'm right-handed, so I just assume that it's the same.
Left ain't right. Oh god. Matt can't pay CS because he has to use a P for Rotom. That is the idea. If I pull Steelix, like if I get 3 before the pity, I'm finishing the pity for Rotom. I want Rotom or Sabrina, one of the two.
They're both so good, both, and I'm so happy I have them.
Oh yeah.
Love both of them.
We know you love Senku, but leave the science to him. You worry me. Oh my god. Dr. Stone, great show, by the way. I'm gonna read the manga soon.
I'm about to have to download the last Cloudy just for because Senku's in the game now.
That was it. Okay, so I saw that collab came earlier today. For the life of me, I could not remember the name of the game. It was Lost Claudia. That was it.
The only reason I remember the name of the game is because someone said it in my mentions right now. I had no idea what it was until someone else asked on Twitter, and someone answered it.
Fun fact: Megalode has the 4th highest attack right now. Did not know that.
It does.
Cool. And by the way,
that is cool.
I know that he loves people like Gardevoir and Gallade, so he is 100% going for his favorites right now. By all means, have fun with Gallade. I'll help you build the grid when you get 3 of them.
Gallade's cool.
Oh yeah.
He's a good one to bring, just as like a good banner to get people to pull. It's not a poke affair.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They'll probably do the same thing with Dawn next month. They'll have like whatever characters and then drop Dawn too.
I've seen a lot of people talk about pulling for Dawn. As much as I love Torterra, I don't think I would pull for her in all honesty, especially after what the fuck I'm doing with fucking Sand. But yeah, you know what? No, you guys want the Sand team explanation. You guys want that. All right. Okay, so this is the last thing we're going to do today, all right? Now...
Sly, no, Dawn has Torterra because Barry has Piplup in this game.
Correct. You don't want the explanation out again. Oh my god. Joe, should I yeah, exactly. Everything in the trailer we know. So chances are we'll be getting Dawn and Lily next month. Chances are. Okay, Sand. So, you guys know Cynthia's base kit. Fast Track 2, 20% chance to raise attack when using a move. And Surging Sand 5. 50% Sandstorm. 50% damage increase in Sandstorm. And in case if you guys didn't know, the number next to the move correlates to the percent chance or the percent effect. So for example, Pikachu's Master Healer 1, he gets 2 of them. So the 1 stands for 10%. So it's a 10% increase to potions healing potency. And they do stack. So Master Healer 2 Master Hero 1 and 1 would give you a 20% increase. Now, I've yet to test this, but I'm very sure that this applies to Speeding Sun as well. I tested it with Charizard and Christmas Rosa's move gauge buff. Both of them stacked. He was going lightning quick. I'm very sure that this applies to Speeding Sun as well. But that's enough of that. So the Sand Setter Palisand. Palisand can refresh sandstorms. How long did you plan how long did you plan all this sand stuff? I came up with all this in about 10 minutes, believe it or not. Palisand, the Sand Setter, can reset own sandstorms, can refresh the move gauge, so you can get more sandstorms and more bars from it. Guaranteed. Sorry, I'm tossed over my words here. Guaranteed attack raise, and a chance, I forgot the number, to raise the crit rate. It's a chance, unfortunately, but the more you use it, you will probably get it. So with 2 sandstorms, you're maxing out your attack. In co-op at least, in single player this no longer matters, but you could pull attention away, and this actually can. Oh yeah, I have. This can apply to Steelix as well, because you want Steelix to be your main target for this reason. Steelix has Iron Tail, which has a chance to lower enemies' defense, physical defense. You can give Steelix Sand Shelter, so he doesn't take damage while doing said Iron Tails, or Soothing Sand. It depends on the placement of it. I forgot which one is closest. But you can also get Iron Tail on a roll, which is an increased chance to lower said defense. You can get Iron Tail Accuracy, so it's a guaranteed hit. You can get something called, and you can buff Clang to where it gives an attack increase as well. Clang prevents crit and stat drops, so if you get Snarl, doesn't really matter, but stuff like that, your stats will not drop. You cannot be crit. So on those Via bosses who like to buff their crit rate, you have that up, you will not be crit, which is great, because you can give Cynthia Soothing Sand, just as she's spamming Earthquakes at the speed of light, you will be healing up gradually, while your Steelix is taking all the damage in the face. But then you can have Palisand pull the attention away from Steelix based on how you have your tactics set. So when you're using your Iron Tail, Steelix can heal back up with the Soothing Sand. Steelix also has something called Impatient, which is very similar to Propulsion, which is what Red has, as you guys know. That is one thing that makes him very broken. Whenever Steelix takes a hit, 10% chance to lower the sync gauge countdown by 1. So you want Steelix to be your main tank, taking all of your hits, buffing his own physical defense, all that, and just increasing your move gauge while spamming Iron Tail. Now, why would you spam Iron Tail instead of Earthquake? Cynthia's grid, you can get. Yep, exactly, Sly. So with Cynthia's grid, you can get more Surging Sand, which is why I said with Surging Sand 3 as a lucky skill, you can get Surging Sand 11. So while Sandstorm is up, you get a 110% damage increase. That is incredible. You can Soothing Sand and Sand Shelter. Yay, she's no longer taking damage in Sandstorm. You can get Earthquake Power, Earthquake Move Gauge Refresh. And here's the kicker. Sands of Time. Sands of Time 2 is a 20% increase to the move gauge acceleration when you are in Sandstorm. Cynthia can get her own speed up as well. Granted, it takes a little bit of time, but you are getting a lot of move gauge. Based on how fast Red's move gauge moves with Sun and max speed, you will easily be able to spam Iron Tail and Earthquake with really no trouble. So, a lucky skill for Steelix, I would probably go for Defense Crush too. So while Iron Tail has that defense drop chance, you also have that chance from Defense Crush. So instead of relying on Persian as your defense dropper, who really isn't doing much after that, Steelix is getting consistent damage, dropping defenses, raising your own move gauge. Sorry, not move gauge. Your own sync gauge. And just that is why I want to go for Steelix. Steelix just rounds out the team in a way that I feel like makes Cynthia better. Thank you for my lecture. Oh, I need water. Holy shit. Okay, my throat's burnt out. I hope you guys found that informative. I need to catch my breath. Okay, I think that's a good way to call off episode 1.
Oh, that's a good ending point as any.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll let you do the outro. I can't talk.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming to the first episode of To Be a Master. There will certainly be more. We'll talk about them as updates come out and whatnot. Hope you guys are enjoying Pokemon Masters, and we will see you next time.
Hold up, I was reminded to do the check mark. There we go. Bye-bye.